John, I think the Tigers kicked more than 80 points from turnovers. Was that the key message to the players just then, turnovers?
Yeah, we spoke about going into the game that particularly the forward third for us, the Tigers are able to score really heavily. It's a big part of their game. When you turn it over in that part of the ground, they score really heavily from their defensive sort of back half, back third, and we wanted to make sure we used the ball better going forward, but we didn't execute it well, and particularly that second quarter, I think all up, I think the first half was 8 goals from turnovers, and there was just that front third ball movement. We just turned it over consistently.
It's a broad question. What's your message to Sydney supporters tonight about where you guys are at this season? I think you've been in 20 of the last 24 finals campaigns. Are you still a chance this year?
Well, we've been in similar situations and been able to get ourselves going, and but it's not just a matter of talking about it. It's a matter of actually getting out there and doing it. We also know that it's not done through anything other than hard work and getting out there and working at your craft. We've been able to turn it around before. We need to turn it around again, and that's the challenge in front of us.
Even though you have done it in the past, is this a different side now, though?
Yeah, it's a different team. There's no question it's a different team. I mean,
that changed things up?
Well, it doesn't change our belief that we can turn it around. Just doing it with different people. There's just different personnel. There's a few younger players like Florent Dawson. I thought was good tonight. There's a few of those guys coming through that are going quite well, and need to keep going. They're replacing some other players that we've got out of the team, and that process has to continue. And we need to make sure we keep rejuvenating our team, but at the same time being competitive. And you don't always get that mix right. You try very hard to get it right, and I think generally over the journey we've been able to get it right. But it's challenges in front of us to get that mix right.
So you're averaging 9 or 10 goals this year. Is there a connection issue going forward? I know last week you spoke about shallow entries. Is that a potential?
Yeah, there is. Front third. I mean, front third tonight was, where we turned the ball over, where we didn't give ourselves entries opportunities, and they were able to score off the back of that. So they were able to rebound it straight down, particularly that second quarter. Just rebound it straight down too many times because of turnovers through that front third.
We just had obviously Dimmer in here and he was stoked with the pressure.
Yeah.
You're obviously disappointed with the ball movement. What was the balance there? I mean, was it more about you guys or was it more about them?
No, it's always about both. It's not one or the other. I mean, their pressure was outstanding. I think they were 20 more tackles than us. So they had 22 tackles inside their forward 50. And so their pressure is, we saw that last week, didn't catch us by surprise. We talked about it, the fact that their pressure was back to their best last week. You've got to build your game on your pressure. Everything else flows from that. And, we've still got to get our pressure right. We've still got to get our pressure right. There's no question about that. When we got caught in our defensive 50 when we were trying to exit, we just needed a spoil a couple of times to stop the repeats against, reset and get going again. And we were unable to execute that. There's no secret, and good teams talk about it. Getting your pressure right and everything flows from that, and that's what the Tigers have got going again. Their pressure's outstanding, which means everything flows off the back of that. They're able to kick easy goals. I won't just sit here and just say it's just ball movement. It's all tied in together.
You're always at the forefront of changes in game style. Is it time you might revisit that, given the effectiveness of teams like Richmond into applying that defensive pressure, particularly in their defensive 50?
We talk about applying pressure. I mean, that's game style, or that's just not executing, not being up for it as much as what we should be in that regard. I mean, chasing and tackling and getting after the opposition is what we've always tried to execute. And I think over the long time we've been able to execute it. We're not executing it at the moment as efficiently, as effectively in that area as what we should.
With the skill errors and the turnovers, I mean, how much is that system and how much is it skill error? Because I suppose if blokes are running into the right spots, then you're not requiring as hard a kick to...
I think that we just missed some really simple ones tonight. I mean, if you go back and look at it, there's some really simple ones to execute. I mean, we were able to get the ball to the halfway point, and then we just missed some going forward. And just some really basic ones that we just hanging the ball out, inviting pressure against good teams, just turn the ball over too many times. In those situations, sometimes in that area of the ground, we just got to either execute shallow, take your time, or execute deep, so you don't turn the ball over in that 30 to 70 range. That's the range where we turn the ball over. That 40 to 70 range. That sort of area, and you've got to make sure you use the ball through there on teams that rebound heavily from there.
I know you've got other concerns tonight, but what have you made of talk in the press this week? I realise it might be a bit manufactured that you guys could trade Buddy. What are your thoughts on that?
Someone wanted a headline. I mean, I don't think anyone took it seriously, did they?
Oh, no, it's created a lot of articles and discussion.
Yeah, but that's all it does. It just creates articles and discussion. I mean, the serious journos like yourself, Tom, wouldn't have fallen for that, would you?
I haven't reported that, no, to be honest with you.
I'm sure the guys in this room will be on top of that.
Buddy moved to 7th on the all-time tally, kicked 4 tonight. He looked frustrated, as you all were, frustrated, just the word on his game. And, I guess another milestone in a great career.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to give him a hand. Yeah, we just need to give him a hand. We need to execute better going forward in the front third, and we need other blokes to stand up and kick goals. Will Hayward's not in there. He's been an important young player for us. We need others to stand up. A bit of that's execution in the front third, but sometimes we had some contests in there that need to be better, and he needs a hand with that.
Do you feel like he's moving better now, even though he didn't do much training? I mean, 5 games in.
Yeah, he's been able to train though through this 5 or 6 week, well, so longer now, probably 7 or 8 week period now. So he's been able to run and train and get himself going. So he is moving quite well at the moment.
Is there any temptation to get him higher up the ground to get him into the play? Tonight so few inside 50s and have one of your better players in the zone where he...
Yeah, we're pushing him up there. We're trying to gradually get him up there because the more training he does, the better he's able to run games out. So we're trying to push him up there at the moment, trying to get him higher and higher. So he's one of those ones that can execute that kick probably better than anyone. So that's what we're trying to do. Sometimes he goes a bit deeper because he's playing big minutes.
Did you get any injuries?
No, I think Kieran just jarred his hip, but I think it's okay. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.